Hi, I'm Mike. Welcome back to the shop. I've got the trunk mounted battery all in place, all wired up. It looks good. I think I did a good job, but unfortunately the charging system is not charging the battery. Actually, it's acting kind of strange. So I'm going to go through a diagnosis of it. I'm going to check all the grounds to make sure that they're all the way they're supposed to be, and I'm going to check the electrical system to make sure, at the alternator, the charging system, to make sure that the charging system is working. Actually, it's not working. So I'm going through the diagnosis of the charging system as well. All right, so I'm just going to test to make sure that the connections for the battery are working. So I'm going to turn the car on and see if I'm getting any charging here. I've got reasonably the right amount of charge on the battery here. Okay, so the car is running now, and I'm not getting the voltage that I need. So it should be at 14 or above. I'm not getting that. So the charging system is not working. Okay, so in order to diagnose the system, one of the things I need to do is understand what system am I working with. This vehicle had, under previous ownership, had been converted from a 6-volt system to a 12-volt system. Fortunately, the paperwork was with the book that my brother-in-law gave me. Using the Vintage Auto Garage system, he's got the a CS 130 GM alternator, and it's been everything's been upgraded per the requirements of the Vintage Auto Garage requirements. And there's also a regulator, basically a resistor in line to protect the gauges under the dashboard, and that converts from 12 to 6 or 6.7 volts. So that's what I'm working with, and I'll go through diagnosis, understanding those are the components. Okay, for my trunk-mounted battery, the negative cable, the ground cable, is going to the rear of the frame. And as you might be able to see here, it's pretty tight. I can't get my hands in, both hands in, to test against the frame and the nut there. So what I'm going to do is put one lead on that bolt right there, and then down the frame a little bit, there's a couple of nice big bolts or nuts that I can put the other lead on. If I get good continuity between those two, actually not this nut, I'm going to put it on the wire crimp and that nut. If I get good continuity between those two things, then there's definitely continuity between the cable and the frame. So let me, all right, let's see if I can wriggle my body in here. All right. So one goes on the cable. Good. And one goes on the nut. I can't ask for better than that. That's so that we got a good ground going to the frame, between the battery and the frame. So we got what we need. Okay, now I'm going to check the ground between the chassis and engine block. So 0.4, 0.5, somewhere in that range. Yep, that's good. No problem there. Okay, I'm going to test the voltage at the alternator, see what it's kicking out. I'm going to ground against the engine block, one of the studs here, and on the red cable, the output. This is set to 20 volts. Okay, as you can see, hopefully I'm not getting a consistent output from the alternator. So something's not right. I'm going to check the connection between the engine block and the case to make sure that we've got a good ground. So I'm going to turn this to ohms, look for the resistance. So I'm at 0.05, 04, 03, somewhere around there. So good ground there. So that's not a problem. I'm going to test the voltage between the case, or actually the ground between the case and the wire. Out of limit. Sorry, voltage. I need voltage. So I'm running at 11. I'm actually backwards here. Yeah, it's still jumping all over the place. So I've got a good ground between basically the frame, the battery, everything's good from that standpoint. So I've got a problem somewhere in the wiring system. I'm going to take off the exciter cable just to make sure I'm not having a problem there, or I could have a problem with the regulator inside of the alternator. The next test to run is to check the resistance of the exciter cable, the one that goes between the coil and the alternator. What we're expecting in this test is to have a very low resistance. I've got the meter set to 2,000 ohms, and you'll see why in a second here. But if the cable is not a low resistance, then you aren't going to be getting the right signal to the alternator to do the excitation of it. So lo and behold, we've got over 400, almost 500 ohms of resistance. Again, this should be less than 1 ohm, preferably less than half an ohm. So we've got a bad cable. It could be a bad crimp, could be a bad, a kinked wire or whatever, but this is going to have to be replaced. Once I get that in, we'll verify that that was the problem. I've got the cable on order. I'll have it in a couple days, and we'll be able to validate if this is the only problem in the system.